Hi, welcome to Amanda's Book Corner. I'm Amanda, and this is my review of The Wedding Setup by Sonali Dave. This is a short story through Amazon Original Stories, and I was really happy when I got to have an early look at it through NetGalley. So thank you to NetGalley and the publisher for an advance copy. So I've been eyeing Sonali Dave and her books for some time now. I've been aware of her current series, which is a series of Jane Austen retellings, and I've been wanting to read them. I haven't gotten to any of them yet, but I definitely do plan to. But I saw the short story and I thought, well, this would be a great introduction to her. So I decided to read this first, and I really enjoyed this book. I'll tell you about it in a second. But I just want to say that after reading this, I'm more excited to go back and read her earlier books as well. The Wedding Setup takes place in Chicago, and it focuses on Aisha, who is a 28-year-old Indian American woman. At the start of the story, it's clear that she's overworked. She's working 16 hours a day in her mom's restaurant, and she seems to have given up on her dreams and relationships too. Her mother, her Amma, is starting to feel impatient, and she starts out the book by telling Aisha that she needs to get married and start having children before it's too late. She already has a man in mind, and with Aisha about to go to her best friend's wedding, her mom has set her up to meet this man while at the wedding. This man is an OBGYN from Seattle, and she thinks that he would make a great match for Aisha. However, this isn't just a simple and straightforward romance that takes place at a wedding. It's not just your simple setup. There's actually a lot of emotional depth in here, and pretty soon on you start to see some of the traumas and baggage that are really holding Aisha back. About 7 years before this book takes place, Aisha's brother AJ had died, and his loss really devastated the family. Aisha's dad had passed away before that, so now it's just her and her mom, and ever since nothing has really been the same. Aisha pushed away the boyfriend that she had, she dropped out of her MFA program, and she's turned into a very different version of herself than she used to be. She used to be opinionated and outspoken and full of life and full of dreams and ambitions. And now she's kind of a shell of herself, and she's doing everything she can to fit into the mold that she thinks her mom wants her to be. She's trying to be the perfect daughter to her mom, working all the time at her restaurant, not dating anyone. And she knows that her mom would only want her to be with someone from their community, someone who's Indian like them. And so she's really become a very different person than she used to be. And this is holding her back, and she can't speak up for herself, and she's just not in a very good place emotionally or mentally. So I was surprised going into this how profound this book would get, even though it's a very short story. It's only about 67 pages, I think. Despite its short page length, it packs in a lot of emotional depth and a lot of growth for our main character. So Aisha goes to the wedding, and she's ready to meet this guy. His name is Samrat, and he's the OBGYN. She's not really interested in being with a man who has that kind of career, but she's willing to do what her mom wants her to do and at least give him a chance. But while she's at the wedding, she runs into her ex. Her ex is named Emmett, and he had been her brother's best friend. He's a few years older than she is, and they had actually been together way back when, before she pushed him away and broke up with him in the aftermath of her brother's death. So I wouldn't call this a love triangle, but Aisha is definitely at a fork in the road, and she can either go down one path and choose this man that her mom picked out for her named Samrat, or she can go down this other path and maybe return to Emmett and have a second chance with him. Or there's a third path, and she can keep doing what she's doing and not choose anyone. So one thing that I really like about this story is just how much we get to see how grief can really change a person and impact a person, not just in the short term, but for the long term as well. The grief that Aisha feels is very powerful, and it really has started to hold her back in her own life. But she's also really afraid of letting her mom down, her mom being alone, her mom being disappointed, because Aisha is all she has left. We can see the different fears that Aisha has and how she's so worn out and exhausted, and it's just really sad to see this place that she's in and that she's been in for several years at this point. But I also really like the look that we get at this. It's a very sensitive portrayal. I think it's something a lot of people can relate to in some way. Most of us have gone through devastating moments in our lives, and this is definitely an emotional read, but it also shows how love and people who love you can really help you come out of that. So on the one hand, Emmett really knows her. He was such a big part of her family, her brother's best friend, her ex-boyfriend. He really knew her mom as well. And him returning to her life could be such a powerful thing, because he really does want to help her return to who she was, but also accepts who she is now as well. So it's a really good balance of him wanting to help Aisha find herself again. I also like how, well, I don't want to get into spoilers, but I also like how towards the end we also see how Aisha's mother also really does love her daughter and does want the best for her. And then that coupled with her best friend, who plays a role in all of this, I think it's really nice to see how people who love you understand you in a special way and really want to help you and push you forward and let you live fully again. Another thing that I did like about this is also that it is an interracial relationship. So Aisha's mom wants her to be with another Indian man, but Emmett is not. Emmett is a white man, he has blue eyes, and on the one hand, that is something that her mother does not like about him, did not like about him before. But on the other hand, I do like the kind of respect he has for her culture and his understanding that he has for her culture. I mean, I do believe in interracial and intercultural relationships. I'm in one myself. And although this book doesn't dive too much into that, it is a rather short story. I do like the look that we get at this interracial and intercultural couple and how they still work so perfectly together, how they really understand each other and are perfect for each other. So The Wedding Setup is a really sweet and emotional and profound short story. It's only 67 pages, but it really does pack a punch, and it's definitely something you can read in one sitting. I wouldn't call it a light read, but it definitely is an impactful read and a quick read. So in the end, I gave The Wedding Setup 4 stars. And as I said at the beginning, I'm really excited to go back and read some of Sonali Dev's other books. I do want to read her Jane Austen retellings, but I also found out that she has another series from before that. I was not aware of this, but she has another series. I think it's called the Bollywood Series, and I do want to go back and read those as well. So I hope you enjoyed this book review video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And to make sure you don't miss any more of my videos, please ring the bell to get all my notifications. I put out book review videos like this one at least once or twice every week, and once a week I put out additional content that you don't want to miss. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!